Settle down, settle down. Class is in session. I am the orator, Tawanda Chinam Magadiye. I greet you in my mother tongue with the hope of speaking to the Zimbabwean within you. But before we get into today's lesson, I would like to give you a gift, or rather, a reminder of the African philosophy of Ubuntu. It is a principle of communitarianism, which means I am because you are. It is a self-evident truth that I can only taste with my mother tongue. Munu munu navanu. A person is a person among and only because of other people. And today, in this very moment, it is a living testament of this philosophy. Because the only reason why I am standing on this stage is because of all of you. Proving that the mantra by His Excellency, Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa of Nyikeno Bako Nebenevayo is achievable, but only if we are united as we sail in the tides of change. Now, in today's lesson, we are going to be solving the biggest problem of this nation. The question, how does public speaking serve as a catalyst for economic transformation? The equation, public speaking equals M plus C times X squared. Follow me. Find the area. Walk along its perimeter. I bet if you dissect and translate its meaning, you'll realize that Vision 2030 is a plan that envisions a prosperous and empowered Zimbabwe, free from inequality, with a thriving economy and a well-informed citizenry. It aims for sustainable development, robust governance, and inclusivity. Achieving this goal requires not only strategic planning, but also the active participation of every citizen, and this is where public speaking comes into play. Now, I'm going to be walking around to see if you're getting the missing values correct. Oh wait, you're getting it all wrong. Let me show you how to find the value of M. You see, if you multiply the hopes and dreams of an average Zimbabwean by the amount of hard work they put in, they might just be able to make their dreams a reality. But wait, have you factored in that this nation exists in an improper fraction, where corruption and greed wears down the demands of the poor? You hear them pound on government doors for an ounce of care, but are met with tons of excuses. At that moment, you realize that the government does not owe you anything, but you owe it to yourself. So instead of venting out and creating drugs and better methods of getting high, destroying lives, be innovative and create drugs and better methods of saving lives. And only then can you escape the poverty and balance the improper fraction in the process. At a young age, men calculate the probability of survival, percentage of employment, plus parents' minimum wage times the influence of the ghetto. They realize that their chances of survival are very low. And so he bets on the streets and invests into the gang life with the hope that his pockets compound with interest over time. That's why he will sneak into the dark, taking people's lives. No care if it divides citizens from their sense of safety when he is squarely in danger of being rooted out by poverty. Trust me, he will try every angle to escape his fate. So see, the solution to this problem is the value of C. By taking heed of His Excellency Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa's call when he says Zimbabwe is open for business, so that instead of us continuously creating the problems, we create enterprises that solve these problems. Now, how do we find the value of X? You see, after independence, we adopted the very systems that were meant to oppress us. And because of that, I believe that Africa, or rather Zimbabwe at large, will never truly succeed until certain changes are made. We could start in our educational system, where instead of creating employees, we should start creating employers by listing down the problems that we are facing in Zimbabwe and Africa, and create a curriculum that will inspire or foster thinking that will lead to the creation of industries that solve these problems. And whilst it is true, the changes that have been made, that the new curriculum 5.0, we are still producing engineers that fix things instead of producing them, proving that there is still room for improvement in our educational system and in our minds that still believe in looking for jobs instead of creating them. So, what is the value of X? Yes, That's correct, change. Now class, I hope you paid attention to today's simple mathematical lesson. The answer to the equation is public speaking. Public speaking equals innovation plus economic growth times change. You see, instead of me trying to explain how public speaking can be a catalyst for economic transformation, I acted as an example, as I spoke with conviction and passion, with the hope of inspiring you to take action towards economic transformation. For it is through our voices that we inspire change, foster unity, and drive the progress that our nation seeks. And so, today's homework is simple. The future of Zimbabwe, the future of Africa, is in your voice. Will you use it to shape the future that you desire? Or will you remain silent and let it crumble? Now class, I want my homework on my desk first thing in the morning, and no excuses. Thank you.